guys, so let's get into some things. So y'all been wondering the love between Harmonize and Kajala, what happened to it? Because last time we saw them two, they met at the event that, Harmonize was invited to go there and perform. Of course, Harmonize was trying his best for Kajala, to notice him, what I'm saying? But Kajala seemed like, she was like, no, bro, I'm good, okay? I'm good. So Mojako, since he's a friend to the family, okay? And is more like a Harmonized defender, he decided to give his 2 cents about the couple. Of course, a lot of people have noticed, what Kajala posted in terms of Harmonize being an a Tanzanian Jonasi, they unfollowed each other, what I'm saying? It was too much, right? And what Mojako said rubbed a lot of people a certain way. And I'm like, this ain't nothing compared to what Mojako has said before about not only Kajala, but also Kajala and her daughter. You all remember, was it last year, but when Mojako recorded himself going to police station to say that Harmonize was being with Kajala and her daughter at the same time. Like literally recording himself saying that he want to sue on grounds of sense of something. Mind you, after that, I still saw Kajala laughing with Mojako after she had made up with Harmonize. And I'm like, why would you be cool with somebody who literally was saying something like this about you? Sometimes I look at Tanzanians and I'm like, is it a cultural thing that you guys don't take things serious? Because when it comes to me, to be honest, the way you talk to me and the things that you say about me, I take things seriously. I take things seriously. And I used to see Bichkole being upset with Tanasha and Zari because, whenever Bichkole would say something about them, they take it seriously. And whenever they meet and Bichkole wanna have that selective amnesia trying to be good with them, they'll be like, stay over there, okay? I know what you said about me last week. And Bichkole used to be offended saying, it was only banter for the internet. And I'm like, do they have boundaries on what they could and shouldn't say about this celebrity? So let me play you what Mojako said about Kajolita, okay? And also I'm gonna play you a little bit of a clip on my previous video on Jackie giving an interview. Of course, I've already shown you what she said about Diamond Platnumz and Zuchu's relationship, considering that she has once dated Zuchu. She also dated Harmonize, and her and Kajala are besties. So the interviewer wanted to ask Jackie Wolper, how is the friendship? Like, are you guys talking about it? Like, what is the dynamics, Okay, let's start there. So the blogger first started by asking Mojako, okay, bro, did you see the energy between Kajala and Harmonize last time they met? The way Harmonize was trying to get Kajala's attention, but Kajala was like, she wasn't on that time. Like, what do you have to say about that? And Mojako go ahead and say that if Kajala leave Harmonize, nobody will take Kajala. And if Harmonize leave Kajala, nobody will take Harmonize with his behavior. So it's upon them to come together and work on how they will be able to come back together. But it was what he said about Kajala next that made me feel like, did you say that, sir? Let me play you that.
Kajala jioni ni maji jioni.
Yaani sasa inabidi amnganganie. Hana pa kwenda.
Amngangania Harmonize.
Anakwenda wapi?
Akapata
wapi? Mchezo ngoma gani Kajala hajacheza? Mchezo gani Kajala hajaucheza? Kitu gani duniani Kajala hajakiona? Labda ufalme wa mbinguni ndio hajaona.
Okay, so if you had Mojako said that Kajala is like an evening water, to Swahili people, that basically means that she's already old. That is Mojako is saying that. Of course, we know that Kajala is way older than Harmonize, decade plus. But the fact that he was saying it like that, I'm like, Harmonize, I've seen a lot of ladies. Why does it then keep going after the old lady, as you called him? Of course, Mojako go ahead and say that Kajala have nowhere to go. She must continue clinging on Harmonize because nobody will take her with her age. Harmonize is the best that she can do. What haven't she done in this planet Earth? And I'm like, that's shady to me.
Harmonize yuko na Kajala. deep down kwenye moyo wake haisi kwamba yale ambayo aliyapitia yeye labda rafiki yake anaweza kupitia. Hilo ni swali la kwanza. Lakini kitu cha pili, wanawezaje kuwa na ule ukaribu ikiwa wameshare mwanaume? Yani kama ni swali ambalo watu wanajiuliza. Mtu kama huyo una.
So let's start from there. So the lady first started by asking Jackie Wolper, like, somebody might ask, you and Kajala are friends, yet you guys have dated the same person in the past, right? And don't you feel like what Harmonize made you go through is the same thing that he will make your friend go through? That, you know, he's a typical player. And secondly, the lady was asking, how can you continue being friends with Kajala that you guys have dated the same person? Because at some point, you guys will be in the same circles, right? Does it look awkward sometimes? And what can she say about that?
Mapenzi sasa hivi. Mimi nilikuwa right? Na hawajui labda mimi nilikosewa kiasi gani. Na nilipokosewa kulikuwa kuna situation gani hapo katikati. Lakini pia tukapatana, tukawa normal, tukawa sawa. Nadhani higi kwa mtazamo wangu, mtu kama bado unamhitaji na una wivu naye ndio unaweza kuumia. Okay. Lakini kama mtu unamhitaji, alafu mimi ni Sagittarius, mimi ni mshale, nyota ya mshale. Nimezaliwa tarehe 6 mwezi wa 12. Google. Naachana mtu asubuhi na kwa love. Move on. Yaani nyinyi ni chap kabisa. Yes, kabisa. No stress. Kwa nini ufariki? Kwa hiyo sijawahi kiukweli. Tena mimi naweza nikaongea story mimi na Kajala kuhusiana na Hamu na nikamwambia sasa, fanya hivi na hivi, tukaongea kama marafiki. Okay. Just
Okay. So according to her, she's saying that now that Kajala and Harmonize are in a relationship, unless you're still in love with that guy, if she was still in love with Harmonize, is when she will feel some type of way. And now that she's already moved on from there, she doesn't see it really like a big deal. She's a Sagittarius, of where you break up with her in the morning, but in the evening, she's already in another relationship. She don't have time to waste. So she don't really think about Harmonize as someone that she was in love with. And she also added that, you know, her and Kajala do talk even about Harmonize and the things that, you know, Harmonize make her go through. And she sometimes even forget that she's been with Harmonize and start, you know, contributing to the conversation, saying, oh yeah, he used to do that, you know what I'm saying? So according to her, she doesn't really see it like a big deal, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's a conversation that came out that Kajala made it seem like, you know, Harmonize was with her and Jackie Wolper at the same time. But based off of the timeline, it was when Kajala, it was Jackie and Harmonize time. So it means that if Kajala was with Harmonize, then Kajala must have been a side chick. I'm telling you, this Tanzanian A-list really have been with everybody and everybody's man. Like, if they were to have babies, they will literally be each other's cousins and friends and relatives and God knows what. Anyway, keep it classy, stay busy. I'm coming back with more tea. I love you to the moon back.